We're back again. This is Nerdos. 8th episode. Yes, 8th
Number
episode.
8. I like that.
And today we have Ray Victoria, Guillermo Rivas, Jose Rivas, and Alonso Meza together. Yes. And this is going to be a podcast about Spider-Man mostly because we just saw it.
With the exception of the 9,000 things Guillermo
and we love it. So
but it's mostly Spider-Man.
It's going down. The usual cheers from the podcast for you guys.
The opener.
Happy belated birthday, Mo.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
We just had a birthday for Guillermo.
This is still part of my birthday weekend.
Yes.
Cheers to me.
And here we go. Let's go. Let's get at it.
Where's the chaser, man? You slacked on the chasers. Where are the beers?
Ooh,
get that.
Mackerel.
Oh, Lord.
What do you want? Dark or...
Yeah, I'll take the
Dark or light?
Regular. Black one.
Okay, so first off, before we get into Spider-Man, I just gotta say that Mo and I went on Friday night to watch Metallica, and it was fucking awesome.
It was pretty damn awesome.
It was unbelievable. One of the best shows I've seen in a long time.
Talking to Ray about it over here, on the way over here, and I was comparing, the set list from this time around to the last time around, how many of the same songs they played.
Mm-hmm. I heard really good stuff about this last concert they did.
Well, just the whole show itself it's just a great production, period. So big time love to Metallica. They've been rocking for 36 years, man.
I know, it's crazy.
That's just nuts, man. So we ended up getting there relatively early. We saw Avenged Sevenfold.
They were pretty awesome.
They were pretty good. I don't listen to them, normally, but they were good. I thought they played a good show.
Jericho talks about them a lot.
No cheers. And it was hot. It was sweaty. It was smelly. It was.
We were right in the middle of the freaking pit. It was crazy.
We weren't in the middle of it.
Pit, but we were in the big crowd.
We would not have been able to handle that. I know I couldn't. But yeah, man.
It was pretty
I showed Ray one of the videos that I took. I gotta show it to you. Like 2 people away, literally. Frank, our buddy Frank, is there with us. Guys, running around, knocking each other down, but you obviously can't take your eyes off of the show. But it was.
It was awesome.
Definitely worth the entire experience. My body was killing me after. It was worth the entire experience.
Moving on though, but it was pretty freaking awesome. So moving on to what we were going to be talking about.
Yes. So
Spider-Man Homecoming. When did you watch it?
Mo and I watched it together.
You guys
on
watched
Thursday.
We watched
it on Thursday night.
We watched the Saturday, midday, and I gotta say it was pretty freaking awesome.
And I watched it again today.
Twice.
You almost already watched it twice, of course.
Nice.
Before we give our verdicts on it, I just want to talk about some of the cool stuff that we saw on it.
There's so many cool
There's just-
references.
You want to leave the verdict at the end, like
And
you want to do like a scaling thing at the end of what we want to give it, or the final opinion.
Where you put it in the list of Marvel
like you said,
movies.
you want to touch. There you go. I
Okay,
like that.
well, actually,
so a few different things.
Before we talk about anything, let me say disclosure, full spoilers. Because we're going to talk about everything in the movie.
Yeah, so anybody
if you don't want to hear any spoilers, I just want to
skip this episode.
Skip the episode.
Skip or wait.
But do go watch it because it's an awesome movie. Okay, so the starting off, so the first thing that I noticed, right off the bat was obviously all the references to the Avengers at the beginning of the movie. So it was really cool to see that they kind of tied it all into that. Then getting all the Adrian Toomes, the Vulture, getting all the Chitauri tech,
weaponry and all that.
getting all that stuff, and kind of establishing his motivation and so forth. So I thought that was pretty cool.
That's one of the things I've always appreciated about Marvel villains versus DC villains. Typically, Marvel villains aren't people who are just they're hell-bent on the destruction of the world because they're some kind of god or whatever. This guy's just a regular dude who got screwed at a job and needed to make some money.
It's a very
Magneto's a tragic hero character. He's not like a out-and-out villain. Like a lot of the bad guys in the Marvel universe, that's kind of their MO. I always appreciated that.
Did you guys feel the same reaction from the crowd when you were there when Toomes is talking about the little guys compared to the big
one
guys.
percenters and all that.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
It's very relatable.
Correct.
You know,
It was
again, he's a very relatable guy.
And it's relevant
reaction
to today and
Right.
everything's going on.
Same
Yeah,
reaction, the second time around when I saw it today. So I thought that was a good scene.
Kind of jumping a little bit to that, only because, you know, since it kind of ties into, again, the references and how they establish the motivation. Like, I felt like Michael Keaton was awesome.
Terrific.
I thought, you know,
Yeah.
like, I thought he,
Without a doubt.
I was a little skeptical when I first saw the trailer, and I felt like it was a little bit reminiscent of the Hobgoblin, the way that he was kind of portrayed in the trailers. But I thought like the Vulture was way better than I had expected.
But you felt like he was portrayed as Green Goblin because of the suit and the technology, or because of the way he was?
No. More
compared
because
to Norman Osborn.
No, more but because of the way that he looked visually. Like I felt
Right,
like,
okay,
I
I
felt
remember you
like
had said
visually
that.
and
Like
tech
the
like it
mask and
kind of
all that,
seemed
yeah.
a little bit
the
like
turbines and the wings.
I feel
right.
like-
Like I felt like it almost looked like a hoverboard, like the hoverboard thing a little
Right.
bit. So I thought it was very reminiscent.
I
of
feel
that.
you a little bit on that, but I like the way they kind of like had its little twitches, and you know, it had its own moves, and then the wings, you know, he freaking chopped up the
They had
webs.
feathers. And,
Yeah, he started scratching into
Right.
the plane.
The wings were
you
very
know.
archangelish. It was
Yeah,
pretty-
that was
pretty
cool.
dope.
Yeah.
I like it. I really like it because it looks very modern
Yeah.
Right.
for what it is. Not like the comic books that had like feather kind of.
certainly.
it was
Well,
very
because in the comic books-
unrealistic. Yes.
In the comic books, obviously, as they wrote it, and obviously of how old the movies or the
comics.
what
The
the comics are and the characters
characters.
are, that's like their natural ability.
Yeah.
You know, I think we were talking about it.
Well, no, his
No,
suit,
he
his
had
suit
a
is like a
suit.
magnetic suit.
Yeah.
Oh, in the comic book,
Yeah,
Yes.
it works.
Oh, it
like
is?
on,
Okay.
It works on like magnetism somehow or other.
Oh, okay.
I don't
Yeah, I
remember
didn't
the
know.
exact details.
So it's
but-
not
I didn't
very,
know enough
it's not
about-
it's not very realistic.
Right.
Gotcha.
Sure.
So
Where
this
was,
movie it is,
Yeah, this
and
was
it
very
makes it-
cool in that they tied it in again to the whole Avengers thing with the Chitauri technology and all that stuff. And again, I thought he looked much cooler
And,
than.
and
he
one of the
looked in
things they say
trailers.
is that in Spider-Man, in Iron Man 2, you remember the little kid that had the
That had the
mask,
mask, yeah,
and he was
that-
going
So,
like
yeah,
that.
supposedly
They
they
say
made a
that's,
reference to it, right?
that's
Well,
Peter Parker.
They've established that, or they've said that that's Peter Parker. I mean, it's kind of after the fact,
Yes.
but yeah, they said that was Peter Parker, so they were already kind of tying it into the MCU from before even doing this movie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you something on Michael Keaton, and this might be a hot take or whatever, but in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I think he's been the best villain so far.
I thought so too. Like, I you know what? Even though it was very like,
I mean, we don't know what Thanos is gonna be like.
well, but here's the thing: is like, despite the fact that he's not like a cosmic being or like one of these huge threat kind of guys like Loki and like all these other guys, like I felt like he was just so much more menacing.
Yeah,
But they-
I
they-
agree.
because
Because he was like,
it's- I
he
think
was
it's-
just more raw.
right.
You know what I mean?
They did it very
100%.
real, very you could how to say this?
You could relate to it.
Yeah, relate
right.
to it.
Again,
And the thing is,
very down
Spider-Man,
to the
Spider-Man
realism.
was also much more vulnerable than a Thor or
Right.
Captain America, so he felt more threatening. I
right.
think it's Vulture, Loki, and then all the other crappy Marvel
But see,
villains.
the thing about Loki though is that Loki's MO is just he wants to take over Asgard. That's his thing. I get it. He's a very vain character. He's all about, you know, him holding power or whatnot. But again, it's hard to relate to that where the Vulture, again, because of where he comes from,
Yeah.
it makes you kind of understand why he's doing what he's
Right.
doing.
I'm gonna say.
And again, from that standpoint, I felt like he was much more menacing.
I'm gonna say probably still within all the Marvel movies so far, my favorite villain was Ultron, just because of how he was and how he
I don't know, man.
the,
I
way,
felt
the
like-
way the what's I don't remember the guy-
James Spader.
James Spader, the way he played him and
I
how
did
he-
like James Spader.
He used him in comically.
I felt
I just
He was
didn't. I really didn't
underwhelming,
like that
though.
movie.
I
No?
felt like
I mean,
Like
it was-
I saw it in the theater. I've never gone back and watched it again. I've never
I watched
had
it
the,
a second
I've
time.
never had like
I watched it a
the,
second time.
the motivation to go back and watch it again.
Here's my take on that.
They killed
Just
Quicksilver and it pissed me off. I'm sorry.
because- Here's my take on
who
that.
are they
just
gonna kill off next now?
Really quick before
Oh, I
moving
got a
on
list.
to really quickly moving on to the next thing with Spider-Man. The thing about Ultron though is that I just felt like he was very underwhelming, despite the fact that he had that much power. Like, I mean, if he's connected to the internet, how much could he have done?
Oh, he could have done a lot.
He
yeah.
could have done so
He
many
could
more
have wrecked
things.
the world economy,
Nuclear weapons, wreck the
Defense
world
systems,
economy, you know,
yeah.
defense systems, all these things, satellites.
or he could have just turned it all off and then.
But that's what I'm
it.
saying is like the whole world goes to crap, and he did nothing but fist fight. So I felt in that sense it was very underwhelming or underused anyway. Okay, so anyway, so as far as like, you know, again, Michael Keaton I thought was awesome. He played a really good part. What I liked about the other villains too is that like it wasn't like overtly cheesy. Like I like the references as far as like how their costumes looks. Like for instance, the Shocker, like the jacket,
the jacket,
the sleeve jacket.
I just
I didn't
wanted
know
to
It
hear-
wasn't like
first time
cheesy,
around.
like him wearing like a freaking jumpsuit like that.
I just wanted to hear Spider-Man call him Quilty one time. That would have been great.
I liked him. What do you call it? The Tinkerer reference was
Yeah,
there
the
too.
You
The
guys
guy
had
that was
your-
messing with all the tech.
Oh, that was okay.
He was the Tinkerer.
Oh, he's supposed to be.
He's the Tinkerer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't.
So I thought all that stuff was pretty cool. There was.
I know how you guys both mentioned about how you thought Shocker should have been able to like blast his wave or whatnot instead of just being a punching
You
thing.
know what? The thing is,
I didn't think that was a big deal.
I feel like
was
a lot of
okay
It
with
wasn't
I
a
feel
big
like-
deal, but it would have been cool because
feel like
Sure.
it would have been a
people-
little bit more faithful to the character.
I feel like a lot of people get a little too caught up in it being like a purist thing, where I don't mind if they take liberties with
Like
it
to-
if it
like-
makes
not-
sense.
not
in
only
the
that,
story.
Aunt May.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Not only
We'll get
that,
to
but it's like you also
Don't-
can't
don't-
bring in
don't go there
every
yet.
villain. You can't bring in every villain into
Yes.
you know as that big of a role. You know, some guys you just gotta throw
But,
in there
You know,
to have them be a part of
and
the
really
of the
Shocker.
villain.
That's what Shocker is in the comics. He's
Right, he's a
he's
he's like a
B-list
B-list
guy.
guy.
Yeah,
he's a B-list guy.
B-list
But
guy.
you know what? But I kind of appreciated that in the sense of not overstuffing it. Like there was a lot of characters, but not every character had to be in the
Right, it
forefront.
wasn't like-
so it wasn't like Spider-Man 3 or Amazing Spider-Man 2. It was just too much
We
shit
saw
going
we
on.
saw Scorpio. So
Scorpion, yeah, Matt Gargan was referenced in there. He wasn't full Scorpion, but I feel like the only
you know
thing-
it's coming.
but it's
Yeah, you
great
know it's
what they're
coming.
doing. They just bring in the character and to let you know he's there.
Yeah,
He's
they
just
were very
there.
good. They were very good about organizing
Introducing-
it and
introducing-
introducing.
Right.
Here's one thing about the comment you made about being faithful and taking liberties. I think it's awesome when they take liberties to modernize things like they did with Vulture's
Right.
costume or whatever. There are certain things, and forgive me for being a fanboy, where I think they need to stick to the. These people who wrote these characters, they wrote them 100 years ago or
Right.
whatever it is. They know better than you, who are not you, the director,
Right.
who are just making this movie now. Like, I'm sorry.
I mean, I think again,
Yeah,
I think
it
if
should-
it
it should
fits
be
the
where-
narrative, I don't have as much of a problem with it.
Right. No. Look,
But-
at the end of the day, it doesn't bother me that the thing didn't blast or not. It was an observation.
Right.
But in other instances,
Well, shoot. Like what?
well, maybe not in this movie, but
Oh,
in
okay.
other properties where they just go totally off the rails,
Right, right.
drives me crazy.
Right. Good night,
Good
guys.
night, guys. Buenas noches.
So yeah. So I mean, again, I thought that it was cool that they made a lot of little references to all those characters, and it wasn't like overly done. It was still about the Vulture, doing his thing, and then everybody else was kind of like a secondary character. So I thought that was cool. The intro video was pretty awesome. The little video log that Peter did.
Yeah.
Right, though.
That-
because-
catch you up.
That was cool because again,
How
you
to-
see the airport battle from his perspective.
perspective,
I thought that was really
and
cool.
on his way there, he's in the hotel. He's joking around.
and it shows
We're neighbors. We're not
it
gonna
shows
be
it
roommates.
shows his character, like
Right.
the kid that he
Yeah,
is.
he's
He
you
played-
know,
I thought he
he
played a
played-
really good.
Tom
I thought
Holland
Tom
did a good
Holland played a
job.
really
Yeah.
good part. He had fun with both being Peter and being Spider-Man. Like I thought it was a much more lighthearted take on it.
The when the Marvel Studios intro came out, when they started playing the Spider-Man music, I thought that was
yeah.
fucking awesome.
That's what I told
Yeah,
you.
I thought that
that's
was
what
The
they
old,
came
the old
out.
1960s theme. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was pretty.
That
good.
brought just like memories back. I was
Yeah.
like, I feel like a kid again watching
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. The other thing that I really appreciated about it too that I hate that the Amazing Spider-Man did is that I appreciated the fact that we didn't have to sit through him becoming Spider-Man.
Oh yeah. No.
Yeah,
So that
and
They
that's-
was-
skipped the origin story. Like we
No,
all know
with the
that.
Ben thing, the spider reference when he's talking to Ned was real
Right.
quick. All the spiders
Right.
dead, whatever.
Let me say something about it because they talk about the directors. They always ask him about it, like are they gonna do anything about it? And all of them, the director and the producer, they were like zero. They don't even know. They didn't even want to give any piece of
Yeah,
the
because
origin
by
and
now-
things like that because
by now
a lot of
everybody-
people already know
Yeah, they
what
already know.
happens.
It's been done
I'd
20
read-
times.
I'd read an interview with Kevin Feige
in the
where he said that
previous
they
in the
were-
previous
Right.
Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield, which is
Right.
it was that death part is very sad and very dark. I don't know if you guys saw
You're talking about when Uncle Ben dies?
when Uncle Ben dies. So it's very sad and very dark. And then the tone of the movie is very
it was very down.
brooding. Yeah, it was very down.
Yes.
The one reference I remember them making, or Peter make, was when he's talking to Ned about keeping it a secret. He's like, especially with everything that
was going by.
And I believe when they do the second part on the Spider-Man 2, they're gonna talk about the Uncle Ben, because they're gonna have to talk about it, and they're probably gonna show like a memory of him or something like that. But they're gonna say something.
I mean, you
something
gotta
very little
it to some
about
extent.
him.
You gotta mention it to some extent, because that's the reason why Peter Parker is Spider-Man. You know what I mean?
I just like the fact that we didn't get hit over the head with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah, but
for the 11 millionth
True,
time.
but the thing is, that, I mean, I'm not saying that they necessarily have to say that line again, but that's why he is who he is. You know what I mean? So again, I appreciated the fact that we didn't have to sit, through another hour of him becoming Spider-Man again. You know what I mean? Like, it was more about him just kind of growing into his powers and learning how to use his suit and all that stuff.
The
suit was awesome.
Karen.
So Guillermo had a little.
I just saw it was a little too over the top in the sense where, I would have liked to have seen him more figure out shit on his own than having the suit necessarily guide him on certain occasions, and the 500 gazillion freaking web.
But that was the thing, though, because they hacked it.
And I
He
get that.
He wasn't
right.
Granted,
it's like
he should have leveled up like an RPG.
It's like the tutorial level in Overwatch. You know what I mean?
Yes, you have to unlock the training wheels.
Yeah, you gotta unlock the training wheels. So
you hit skip and you start shooting, and that's what he did.
Sure. The evil or the killer eye. What was it? The killer mode?
Instant kill.
I want to know what does it do.
That was funny.
I want to know what does it do.
And fucking eyes turn off.
That was one thing too that I thought was really cool, was how his eyes were animated. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, and you can see the different
how they
frames.
narrow like Batman.
You can see the different frames and stuff of how they move or whatever. And then when he runs into
it was very animated
into the backyard with the girls in the fence, and he's all like eyes are goggling back and forth, and they like all get all freaked out.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. I did feel like, kind of like what you said, like he maybe had too many options, I guess. Like,
but that's Tony Stark.
I know.
I mean, you can
like
feel Tony Stark's
he thinks of everything
on that suit.
He had an Iron Man suit. That's what he had.
Oh,
basically.
Dude, I wanted to see Iron Spiders.
Oh yes.
Again, let's wait. You guys are jumping the gun, man. What did you guys think? What did you guys think of Karen?
Karen was great.
I want
to date her.
So
Karen.
So Karen was the AI. The AI built into the suit.
She's like,
yeah,
her chance,
but
Peter.
she doesn't.
Like, dude,
but she doesn't have a reference in any of the comic books. No,
this
is just
is
for the movie.
This is brand new. Yeah, this is all new with Stark
just
helping him out, and
that's what I thought.
Helping with the suit and everything. I read a reference, or I read something where it said how Paul Bettany played Jarvis and his wife.
Yeah, his wife plays Karen.
Was, what's her name? From Jennifer Connelly?
Yeah, Jennifer
Connelly did
the voice.
Yeah, Jennifer Connelly. Yeah, that's right. Jennifer Connelly did Karen's voice. Yeah.
I love the comment that Paul Bettany made about his role for Jarvis, where he felt like it was a bank heist. Because it was the easiest money he ever made.
Oh.
He recorded, just however many lines. Right. Never saw anything about the movie until he saw the movie, and then like went on vacation for the rest of the production. Yeah. So all he had to do was the voiceovers for Jarvis and all that. So he's like, it was like robbing a bank.
Yeah. Lucky motherfucker,
right?
Okay, so then going back to some of the characters that.
What's up with my voice?
Going back to some of the characters that were introduced in this movie, brand new. Well, not brand new, but
if you get too close to the mic, yes, you sound very deep.
Did you guys have any issues
with like my voice?
Let me talk, man.
Go ahead, man.
Do you guys have any issues with like Flash Thompson's look?
No. I thought it was interesting. Yeah. I remember when I first saw it, I was like, "Wow, that guy's gonna one day be Venom." That sucks.
I didn't realize that was him at first when I had first seen him until they referred to him as Flash, and I was like, "Oh."
It's just interesting how it's a modern take on bullying. It's a
correct
2017 take on bullying.
I'm talking to our buddy Lance, and who's
probably been bullied his whole life.
And you guys obviously know how he is. So he's like, man. I just didn't like that he wasn't, the tough guy, athlete, jock type dude that would actually bully him around and not just.
But that doesn't mean it doesn't happen that
exactly.
way.
No,
nowadays
and I
like you were saying,
nowadays
it's a more
people,
modern thing.
nowadays
I agree.
it's all
It's
about
more picking on
cyberbullying.
the Penis Parker thing was hilarious.
Yeah.
When Ned called like you're better off not coming. I was like, this gets worse.
That is too funny.
So yeah, like the way that he that he was still bullying him like that.
But he was still
perfect.
in a way
he wasn't physical.
Right, he wasn't physical. So in a way, like when he runs across him when they're going to the pool, whatever, and he slaps him across the ass or whatever. It's just more him being
Just a
jerk, like emotionally jerk,
Yeah.
not physically. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I really didn't have a problem. Like I said, as long as it fits the narrative, I don't have a problem too much with them changing the way that a character looks or is or whatever necessarily, because it's still somebody bullying him or picking on him for being
As long
who he is.
the point is to be true to the core
Right.
essence of
Right.
the character or the concept. I
Now,
agree.
on that, now going from
Like Mary
that
Jane
to,
in this
to the,
one is
well,
not a.
here going.
But it's
to
not
that,
Mary Jane because her name's Michelle.
Right. So, what are your opinions on the fact that so
I don't
Michelle,
know.
the character Michelle in the movie was actually pretty funny. I liked her a lot. Like,
She
she was
was
very
funny, yeah.
snark.
Yeah.
She came up with these these like one-liners.
The
that were
best
just
scene
like, I
for
don't give a fuck
her
about you, whatever.
was after.
When she held up the drawing.
No, I thought the
Attention.
best scene for her was
At the end.
when after he gets out of the car and Mike and Toombs is talking to Peter, and he's walking and like all
And
the
gives him-
evil
she gives him
music
the
or
finger.
she gives him the finger as he comes up, just kind of like break the
I like
tension
that
of that
stuff.
moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Or
was
like
good.
when she was like, "Oh, where are you going? Like, where you
We're
where
just
you,
taking off to Peter.
Yeah, we're taking off to Peter. Oh, don't worry about it. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I don't care.
But
she
I like-
really
I like
cares.
the-
She really does.
I like this is so lame, whatever, like, but you're here.
She's a
Am I?
really she.
Am I really
They
here at
put
the
it
point?
as a really good observer.
Right.
She
Yeah, she's an
takes
outsider.
everything in, and
But
she's watching Peter. So I'm probably by the second movie she's really smart. So she's gonna figure out his Spider-Man.
Well,
I like
so-
the whole thing with the academic scholarship
Yeah.
like team that they did and
I
how it ended
thought
up
she
in
was like
DC
an
and
avatar
all.
for the audience. Like she's seeing it how we're seeing it.
Right. So now here's the thing, though, is that so then at the end she says that she's MJ. Now I've read that she's not Mary Jane Watson, she's just MJ, but they haven't, she's not the same character. So yeah, that's fireworks.
Well, yeah, again, because when he introduces her as a captain, he's like Michelle, and then she's like, oh, but I just go by MJ. So
Right.
we're just throwing in the name of MJ.
Right. So now they're not saying that she is or she is not going to be a love interest for him. I mean, more than likely she will be, but they're not
she'll need a
referring her to
makeover.
be right. They're not referring. Yeah, they gotta give her a makeover. Man.
Yeah, she'll need a
I had never seen that girl before.
I think she's a Disney
Zendaya.
Channel.
Something
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
what-
Yeah,
that's
or
what,
Nickelodeon or some
Yeah,
shit.
something like that.
I think it's Nickelodeon.
Whatever it
Nickelodeon,
is.
something.
Yeah, made up. She looks much better.
Does
But,
she? I've never seen her.
I mean, she's still not. I mean, I wouldn't say
No, she's. And I seen her before in other pictures, and then I think in the Choice Awards, something like that. And she's a pretty good-looking girl when she's makeup. But
When she's
obviously, for the movie,
they purposely
purposely want to make her
Right.
look like she doesn't care about beauty, about all
Right.
this external
Yeah, that's her
stuff, you know.
character.
So.
Yeah, because they wanted to have that surprise for when she said MJ. People be like, wait, what?
Right. Yeah. As far as that aspect with the other supporting characters, to me, it wasn't like you're saying. It wasn't that big of a deal that it's not really Mary Jane Watson. It's not, necessarily one of the comic book best friends, or
Right.
that they had to revisit the origin, because not only do we know it, but even a newer crowd can kind of just, I guess, pick up on the stuff that
Yes.
might tie in, that's new, that they didn't know about before.
Right.
That there was some sort of like tragedy in the family, and that's why Mary, that's why Aunt May, he's being real sensitive about her situation. I forgot the second part I was gonna say, but yeah, no, just all in all, that with now getting into Aunt May.
Well, before that.
Oh, okay,
About Ned, yeah.
Yeah.
So Ned was another supporting character.
Right.
I thought he was pretty. I thought
It
he was
was
pretty
great.
funny. He was a good like sidekick type.
There's already been so many
character.
awesome guy in the chair memes. It's
Right.
fantastic.
I haven't seen
The
them,
guy in
but
the
I
chair
gotta
memes
check
are
them out.
great.
I gotta check them out. You gotta send them some.
Yeah,
send them
I'll
to me.
get you.
But he was a funny kid, man. He was like, I liked him there. I thought he was pretty funny. And now, like what we were talking about earlier, is this the Ned that in the comics eventually becomes the Hobgoblin? So
Sure, you never know. Maybe they decide to do something like that.
We don't know.
Kid's gonna have to lose a little weight.
He's gonna have to lose
But
weight.
you know what? You know what happens?
He could be a fatty the goblin. I mean, you never know.
I'm gonna say something because I this is something that kind of bothers me because Spider-Man is the guy who keeps his identity a secret the most
Right.
out of the whole
He's always been very secret.
Marvel
about it, yeah.
universe. I think he's the one that keeps the most secret.
Until Civil War.
Yeah, onto Civil
Yeah.
War.
But up until that point, he
Yes.
was the one guy that nobody knew who he was, and he was always very secretive and very protective of his identity.
Yeah.
So
in this
for it
movie,
to be
a lot
that
of
way-
a lot of the bad guys already know who he is, and the point that I wanted, we might see the Sinister Six on this,
In that
this
building up.
universe because
Yeah, they'll start building up.
they start building up the characters.
Well, I mean, if you think about it again, you've got the Vulture, you've got the Shocker. Was the Shocker part of the Sinister Six? That's at
yes,
one point or
no,
No, you
No.
got
The
Vulture
Scorpion.
and
It was-
Scorpion.
Then
It
again,
was
it might not necessarily be the original
Vulture,
Six.
Electro, Kraven the Hunter, Sandman, and
Dr.
Mysterio.
Octopus.
on the
Kraven was
show.
part
Dr.
of
Octopus
Sinister
was in there
Six?
too.
Yes.
Kraven the Hunter was part of it at one
Yes.
point, yeah.
I thought that at the end they try to tie in something that was great. They try to tie in something to Venomverse because
That's awesome.
fuck off.
That's great.
Yeah, it's a good
Xavier being like, I don't want to be in the chair. That's hilarious. That's great.
You've seen the comments about
Yes.
they're gonna tie in Venom to the MCU in some fashion. Like it's like a little branch.
Okay, so hold on, because I've been over this a million times. They have gone back and forth now
They have.
a dozen times. They said they were gonna tie it in. They
I
said
for
they're
sure
not.
they were not, and then I've heard that they
Right.
are.
No, they said
And
they
that's where
weren't.
I've heard it last.
Originally, the original was they were not. Then Kevin Feige and
the
Amy
Sony
Pascal,
lady, yeah.
there was an interview and they said, "Oh, it's part of it, and we're gonna tie it in." Then he came out and they said, "No, it's part of the adjunct universe." And then he came out and said no, and then she came out and said yes again, and
So
they've gone
there's
back
still
and forth
nothing definite.
at least half a dozen times.
I still think it's gonna be tied together because to me, like you said,
I
it wouldn't
just-
make any
I think
sense.
right now,
How can they
that's a
not-
money issue. I think right now
How
that
can they not
issue is
reference Spider-Man with
Sony being willing to let enough of it go
Okay,
for
but-
Marvel to do their thing.
But you
But
know what?
here-
Maybe they're waiting for the outcome of this.
You think
my-
my question? Wait, sorry.
Go ahead.
My question is like, do you think they're gonna do the classic Venom or they're gonna do like
It's
the
supposed to be
Agent
Well, he's Eddie
Venom?
Brock.
It's Eddie Brock.
No,
Is
he's
it
Eddie
Eddie
Brock.
Brock?
It's not Flash Thompson.
So at the end when Scorpion runs into Vulture in the after credit scene, at first I heard him say something like, "Oh, you know, I've got friends, you know, that
On the
want to
outside
take
that wanna meet him."
the photograph or slice his throat or this and that." So to me, that kind of because of just the way he said it in that order, it sounded to me like okay, it's,
Yeah, he
it's
says- he
leading
says-
toward Venom.
He says that
In a
maybe
way,
take some
but-
pictures, maybe cut his throat, something
But
like that.
I think it also is just saying it could be leading into those other guys because there's a group of his friends and the rumor is that you know who he is.
Right.
And so maybe I think in some fashion Venom would be tied in because if they find out that it's Peter Parker, then Eddie Brock would go after Peter Parker. I don't know.
But again, I mean, you have to have some kind of relationship between Eddie Brock and Peter
Sure.
Parker. in
And
order
we'll
to-
see if it happens.
because the only reason Venom is who he is because of Peter,
Peter
Parker.
Parker.
We'll see if he
So
Right.
to me, it wouldn't make any sense if there was a Venom movie.
If they
I mean, how do you-
decide
where
to
does it
do
come
it
from?
all
What's
by
his motivation?
itself, the only reason it might even be good is because they're going with the rated R lean, and it's Tom Hardy. But
But again, it doesn't establish the character's motivation either.
See, I
Granted,
think if Sony had any brains, this is what I would have done if I was Sony. I wouldn't have made Venom a movie. I would have made Venom a Netflix show and put it in the same universe as Daredevil and all of these. You get the rated R, you get the violence, you get the extent. You're able to tell an extended story. That's what I would have done. I think that would have been awesome.
Yeah, I just don't see how they're gonna do it without it, and they really haven't really confirmed anything set in stone.
I think they're just trying to keep us all guessing because whatever twist it is that they're going to use to do it, they don't want to reveal it.
So speaking of twists, and
Good
again, super spoilerish, but so as we were sitting there watching, Peter going to pick up Liz for his homecoming date, somebody opens the door,
Dude.
Which and the moment I saw it, I told Alonso, I'm like, oh shit, here comes Dad, and sure enough, the dad was Adrian Toomes, the Vulture. So that was a big twist. I didn't quite expect
loved that twist.
I mean, it was good.
It
I
was
liked
awesome.
it. I did think
It
it was
was
cool.
very to me. It was unexpected.
It was
the second
very
time around
unexpected.
today when I went to see it, some guys like, oh, I saw it the whole way coming. I'm like, okay, sure. If you saw it coming, you saw it coming. I don't know.
She
It
doesn't
was
look anything like him.
Fuck you to that guy.
exactly. There you
She doesn't
go.
look anything like
Agreed.
him. Where would you even get that?
I don't know
from?
how in the world anybody would have tied it together. But again, the only other things, obviously, since I saw it the second time, is when he kind of pays attention to what happens in DC with the whole academic club thing, and he kind of like, you can kind of see him react to that.
Right.
And then maybe if somebody picks up on it, sure. But I thought that was a big surprise.
Yeah,
It was
I-
awesome.
I
Some
like
guy,
the twist, too.
some
Really
guy in our
surprised.
theater. I can't remember exactly what he said, but he was like super loud about it. He's like, "Oh my god!" or some crazy shit. Like
Right.
it shut the place down.
Right.
Yeah.
It
I
shut the
did
place
A
down.
lot
like
of
that.
gasps.
I thought that was a
You
very
hear
good
everybody,
twist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was a really good twist.
One thing that the movie too gave up is that Donald Glover is on this universe, so that's
Well,
the
Donald
uncle.
Glover, Donald Glover, the actor,
Yeah, the actor
who plays
the Prowler.
the character Aaron Davis, who
Mhm.
in the comics
Right,
is the
Aaron Davis,
Prowler,
that's what
Yes.
and he is also
Miles Morales' uncle.
Oh, I
is
didn't
that
know
tied in the comic
Yes.
book like that?
yes.
Okay.
I haven't,
So-
I haven't
makes
read
a
any of the Miles
reference-
Morales comics.
I haven't either.
Is
I've heard they're good.
so-
Well, no, sorry, I've read maybe like the first two.
So at this moment, if he's on the universe, he's a little child.
Right, because he
Well, but
does
he does
mention.
reference. He does mention.
Right, he
He's
does
like,
reference.
I have a nephew
I have
that
an
lives in the
I don't want to
neighborhood.
in the neighborhood because of the
Right.
guns and all
So he's
that.
like, I don't
stuff.
want to get these crazy weapons because I don't want these weapons in my neighborhood. I have a little nephew. That's
Did I send
Miles
you guys
Morales.
the Tom Holland audition when he makes fun of Batman?
Yeah.
So I thought that was hilarious how you see that clip, around on the internet before the movie came out. And in the movie, he's got the intimidation
Intimidation
voice.
intimidation mode in the
Yeah,
suit.
when you-
Flash, I need your car. he
When
goes
you
after Flash's
intimidate
car.
them, yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Well, and just to go back to what we were talking about Aaron Davis being
Yeah.
Miles Morales' uncle. For those who you don't know, Miles Morales in the Ultimate Universe
In the Ultimate
is
Universe.
Spider-Man
Spider-Man.
after Peter Parker
Parker
Spider-Man
dies.
dies, right?
So, but then
How does he
somehow
die?
I don't remember. I really didn't get into it. I read about it, but I didn't see exactly how he died. But then Miles Morales takes over, and then somehow or other he ends up in the main universe.
Doesn't Spider-Man?
Oh yeah, when they did the Spider Verse thing,
Oh, when they
all the
did
Spider-Man.
when
they
they
all came
did
together.
when they
Doesn't
did the how do you call it, the one that all the planets are crashing?
Oh, Battle World.
No, before that the insurging.
Insurgents.
Yeah, insurgents.
I
I
don't
think
know if that's what it's called or not.
when the line all the planets are.
Yeah, right. Well, I'm sorry. That's what eventually led to Battle World was the the insurgents. Yeah.
I got
Yes,
you.
but in
So-
that moment, that's when Miles Morales comes to the main universe.
Right.
Because
Does anybody know how Spider Gwen happens? Is that just another alternate?
It's an
Yes.
alternate universe also. Yeah, it's an alternate universe also. Okay, so then going back to okay, so the whole thing with the Vulture, Adrian Toomes being Liz's dad and so forth, and the way that the fight in the airplane goes on. By the way, the fight in the airplane was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that show was pretty.
So at the end, when Adrian Toomes is being taken to jail and he goes and he talks to
Sees
Matt
Gargan.
Gargan.
Yeah.
As they're walking to each other, Gargan says about how, I've heard that you know who he is, and
He keeps it a
Adrian
secret.
Toomes decides to keep it a secret.
if he
do you
would've
think
already been dead.
Why do you think he decides to keep it a secret?
Because he knows their
Spider-Man saved his
family.
life.
I think because Spider-Man knows their family too, knows who the daughter is.
Right.
and-
He's protecting his family at the
Yes,
same time.
at the
He-
same time.
He saved his life. That certainly makes sense. Other than that, maybe he just wants to savor the moment for himself. I
Maybe,
don't know.
but I just feel like that would be too much of a bad guy trope.
I think
You know what I
it's
mean? Like
the
a
saving
but
his
you know
life
what?
thing. Because if
Maybe.
you think about it, earlier he says when he gives Peter the chance to get away, he's like,
Right.
look, you saved my daughter in the elevator. I'm
Right.
gonna give you a shot. So he's already shown a willingness to have mercy.
But you know what? I find again going back to talking about how
Pretty-
the character.
Real quick, pretty badass. So how he, as soon as she gets out of the car, he leans back and he's got a fucking
The
Glock
gun,
right in his
oh yeah,
fucking-
Glock right there.
He's like,
Yeah, it's gonna be
Don't
me.
fuck with
That's
my
gonna be
dog.
me in a few years.
Yeah, exactly.
That scene is so badass because
It's a great scene.
you see how good of an actor is fucking.
And again, how intimidating he is.
Yes.
Even
he
just
was
like that.
It was great.
But again, going back to okay, so he keeps the secret, and going back to like how relatable the character is that he'll do anything for his family. So again, being able to relate to that makes for a more believable character, I think. And again, it just makes it for a more relatable character as far as like the villains, because most of the time you really can't relate to the bad guy.
Right.
Well, again, you're talking about like Loki in the Avengers, or
Ronan in Guardians, who was my
Yeah.
least favorite in the
Right.
Marvel movies.
Of course, we
Right
can
now.
relate to Loki. We're all gods, aren't we?
well, maybe
what we are.
Maybe in your own mind.
We're nerdo gods.
Yeah, maybe in your own mind. But,
not even there. Not even close.
No,
but yeah,
I'm the god of death for sure.
But I
for sure.
thought that was really pretty cool. That again, he would do anything for his
God of
family.
chaos.
It makes it very relatable as a character.
Gotta speak.
So I thought that was really cool. The other thing that I had to do a little bit of research on this, but I do recall this myself. I've seen the scene before, and it was one of those like nerd moments also that
You told me about it. I didn't even
You
caught
guys might-
that
you guys
because
might
of
have
that
caught this,
that
but-
comic.
Okay, so there's
Yes.
there's an old comic, Amazing Spider-Man number 33. They made a reference to that comic in the scene where Spider-Man gets caught under the rubble,
Okay.
where the Vulture knocks down the pillars, all the rubble comes down. It's a reference to Amazing Spider-Man number 33, where the whole point of the scene is to like show his willpower and like his willingness to do anything it takes to do what's right and to save the people that are in danger and so forth. In Amazing Spider-Man 33, I don't remember the exact villain, but he gets trapped under a bunch of rubble as well, and he either has to get out or Aunt May dies. And so it takes, obviously, it takes him a while for him to get there, but eventually he has the sheer power of will to get himself out and lift all that rubble and get out of it. So I thought it was a really cool nod.
It was a good moment.
that.
It was a good moment to
Yeah,
the
I thought it was a
I'm
really
not familiar
cool
with
nod
that
to the
comic,
comics.
but I will tell you that the way that scene was shot, the sound editing and everything, I felt the tension in that scene.
Yes.
I was
And he was-
gripping the shit
and it was very
out of
big.
my
I felt-
armrest on my chair.
I
was
felt
like,
him crushed under that.
get
fucking-
up, man!
It was
Get
really
up.
visceral.
Yeah.
Like the way
very
he acted it
intense.
out was really cool. And it was
It
very
was so
intense.
good because you see that he's a kid, and the first reaction of him is like,
I'm-
I don't know what to
I don't
do.
know what to do.
Help!
Yeah.
Help!
dude.
And then he realized that
This is who I
there's
am.
nobody there, and I had to get out of this
Yeah,
by
otherwise
myself.
it's
So
done.
he just got the courage and the strength to
sat
get
down
out of
I
it.
found out, yeah, the strength. That's for sure.
Yes.
Okay, so
My thing, so that I just wrote down. I was
and I've
talking
read
to,
some stuff on this, but
I was
go
talking
ahead.
to a boy Lance about this too. Is where the hell's his spider sense? There's no reference to his spider sense in the entire fucking movie.
So I read.
I've read too, but
I
go
read
ahead.
a statement by Kevin Feige about that,
Yeah.
and they
I
said
have not read that.
that
I didn't.
he said that what he wants to do is incorporate it very naturally. That it's not. They don't want to do it like a very blatant thing, like in the first movies where it's like a slow
Sure,
down.
It was a huge
Which is
visual-
fine.
Yeah, it was a huge
thing
visual
or whatever.
The
It's supposed
only
to be
time-
more instinctual, and again,
The only, but there's still there just didn't feel like there was.
You didn't want the
that
little lightning
instinct-
bolts coming out of his head?
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh my god, just like his head would have fucking. The only movie, well, that he's only been in two. In Civil War, there was a moment where when Winter Soldier throws the scrap metal or whatever at him, and he's like, "Oh boy!" and he ducks. It flies by him, and he slings it back with the web. So that's the only time that I felt that his spider sense showed in either of the movies.
Okay, time out for a second. Just because you brought him up, that's another villain that I thought was freaking awesome.
Winter
was
Soldier?
the Winter Soldier.
Oh, he was.
So again,
but I didn't
three guys.
consider Winter
Good
Soldier
point.
so
I
much a
don't-
villain.
Yes, I don't consider him a
But he
villain.
was,
Why not?
but the thing was
He was
that
the villain of
in the time that
of Winter Soldier and.
But in the time that he was going
He's
after
like an
them, in the time he was
antagonist,
going after them, he was gung ho. He was gonna kill them.
Yeah, for me,
And
it's
he-
hard.
again,
It's for
he
me, it's
was
hard to
very raw.
consider anybody who's like a brainwashed character to be an out and out villain.
Well-
his motivations aren't his own. His raison d'etre isn't his own. It's
maybe not, but I think that made him more
menacing for sure.
Yeah, because there was nothing gonna stop him. He was gonna fucking do whatever it took to kill whoever needed to kill. Yeah. So I thought that was what made him a really very menacing villain. So yeah, I like that about him a lot. But anyway, so going back to what you were saying about the spider sense, I read the same thing about what Kevin Feige said, and also that part of the explanation that was given to had to do with the reason why he wears the goggles. You know, he wears the goggles because there's just so much sensory information
or because of what he said, right?
That it needs to kind of like tone it down to some extent, so that they're kind of like you said, they're trying to make it a more like natural, like more I guess second nature thing, as opposed to it being like this thing where like, oh my god, danger's coming, okay, let's do the spinning slow motion camera and then everything moves as slow.
I also think
is fine. It didn't have to be done that
progression. Like he's still a kid who's just learning his powers. He's learning, a new suit. You could
see him when he swings.
Right.
When he starts swinging, and when
he fell once.
He fell many times.
That shit was
so I think as the movies continue, because
Remington.
We having a
little woof action.
So, but yeah, that's what I had read about it too. So.
I think as the movies continue, you'll see
maybe
probably more and more.
They might incorporate it a little bit more. So now, not that I had an issue with this necessarily, but I just felt like it was too reminiscent. Was the scene with the ferry boat, where he was trying to hold the ferry boat together. I felt like it was just very reminiscent of the scene in Spider-Man 2.
I think we talked about it last time.
Yeah, I think we talked about that too.
Yes and no, just because. Okay, so one of the things that I was thinking of, the first time around, I didn't feel like he was very. I didn't feel like I got enough of the acrobatic of him. But then in that one scene, I saw it again. I was like, okay, this looked a lot better the second time around. And I like that he used the little bomb webs and he kept going back and forth to tie it together, as opposed to the other one where it's shoot, hold.
Okay, but you know what? Like I get that, and I thought it was cool too. But in the, I guess in the actual scene or the
in a way, it is kind of like a tribute to it though.
Maybe so, but I felt like there was more tension in the original scene in the train. Like I felt like there was much more.
Because it's the first time you've seen it, but this particular scene,
but it was much more raw.
It's coming straight from a comic though. It's coming from an Alex Ross Spider-Man.
I haven't
comic.
seen that one.
That ferry
boat. So that's an homage to an actual issue.
Gotcha.
Nice.
Okay, so I didn't know.
And it's one of those Alex Ross always does like the watercolor.
Well, it's very hyper realistic.
He's the best.
That guy's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I'm sure you read Kingdom Come. Oh my god,
my favorite DC comic.
Kingdom Come.
I haven't read all of it.
The Dark Knight Returns is amazing.
Yeah, but you can't compare the art.
No, the artwork, no. Yeah. It's completely different. It's a completely different style.
But anyway, fantastic. But I didn't like the art in Dark Knight Returns.
So yeah, I just felt like it was maybe a little bit repetitive in that sense. But otherwise, I mean, okay. So those are the things that I wanted to talk to as far as Spider-Man. Did you, anything else that you had to talk
No,
to
I already
about?
say my stuff that I wanted.
Did you get the May stuff?
Oh, sorry.
We didn't get to that.
Sorry, we didn't talk about the most important thing.
This all the little hitting on her, all the little hitting scenes.
So here's where
he started.
The larb. When they went to eat the Thai, and he gives the little Thai dude gives her the free dessert, and she was telling him, do you like your larb? How do you like your larb? How many times do I have to say larb? I didn't catch the first time, but Peter's like, I think he larbs.
I think he larbs. Yeah, you didn't catch it.
Yeah,
the first time.
And so then Ned's like, "Hi May, bye May."
Yeah.
So again, this is one of those instances.
The deli guy, how's your aunt doing?
This is one of those instances where we don't have a problem with the character having been changed for the purpose of a storyline, right?
Right.
Absolutely not.
No, look,
I think we're unanimous.
I've been a Marissa Tomei fan since My Cousin Vinny.
My Cousin Vinny.
I love that chick.
Right.
Like, she's great.
Okay, but this is something that I was gonna say. How do you guys feel about Aunt May? Because in the comics she's very old,
right?
And in this one, she's in like the late 30s, around 40.
No, she's not. She's not.
Like
50s. Marissa Tomei, yeah, she's like in her 50s.
Yeah.
Right here.
Marissa Tomei is close to 50.
No, she's
this
50 plus
May?
already.
Let me look it up.
I'm sure this Aunt May is about the same. I mean, why wouldn't?
I don't know how old the character is, but I know that
the
actress is
the character in the
No, I
comics
mean
is like
the character on the movie.
Yeah.
Is around what age?
I would say she's in her 50s.
Let me look.
Yeah,
Let me
she
find
looks.
out
I mean,
right
she
now.
looks good, but she looks
even
50.
1964. I'm 40.
She's 52.
So she's 13 years older than I am.
Yeah,
So she's
No, but I mean,
53.
how
Yeah, but her
old
birthday's
is she?
December 4th.
How old
In
is
the
she
movie?
In the
on the
comic?
movie comic?
50s. I would say 50s.
In the
You would say
40s,
50? I think she's
late
younger.
40s.
No, she didn't look in her
40s.
30s. She,
No.
Late
with that
40s.
scene where she
Late
got
30s?
the round glasses and you see like
40s.
you see the wrinkles.
Okay,
No.
40s.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Late
40s.
40s at most.
Late 40s,
50,
but
yeah.
you know, was late 40, 48, 50, whatever.
Yeah, 48 to 53 is not the big.
I said 45.
48 to 53 is not a big difference.
Whatever, she
But-
still get it.
Yeah.
But I was saying that she doesn't look as old. You know, the white
But
hair
But
and
here's the
things
thing
like
is, I
that.
mean,
This is
I-
another Iron Man.
Who in Hollywood who's 50 years old looks 50 years old? Nobody.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's true.
Kurt Russell is 1,000.
I'm talking
years
about
old.
females. Halle Berry's.
Kurt Russell
isn't-
looks
Halle Berry's
really good
female.
for his age.
Halle Berry's 50, isn't she?
Dude, J-Lo. Oh my god.
Halle Berry's
Shut
50.
up.
Elizabeth Hurley's 50 something. Kate Beckinsale's like 40 something. I mean, all these women
No.
are older, and they look
Young.
ridiculous.
They look
so I mean, there's no way she's gonna look 54 years old. or
But I'm
whatever.
talking about the comic. You know, like you guys were saying, the Harold don't like the reference of the comics, how they look, how they look.
But like I said,
video.
from the very beginning, I said I don't have a problem with them changing the characters as long as
Yes.
it fits the narrative.
But I'm asking the question
thought
to
she-
you
I thought
guys.
she looked old enough.
Yes.
Yeah,
She's
she
his
has the white
aunt.
hair, but I thought she
he's
looked
he's
old enough.
15.
Right, he's a
Exactly.
kid.
So an aunt, at least 35, maybe a little
40s.
old, maybe older.
So you know, when by the time he gets to the stage where we had Andrew Garfield and Peter
Yeah.
and Tobey Maguire, you know,
For some
Marissa
reason,
Tomei
they always made Aunt May in the comics like a great aunt.
Yes,
She's
right.
like fucking 80 years old, man. That lady's so frail.
Yeah.
Seriously.
maybe she was like, yeah, a great aunt. Like,
She was
like
like
the
she was
aunt
like
of his grandma
she
or
was like
something
a
like that.
grandmother.
Really,
Like
yeah.
the lady that played the lady that played Aunt May in the original
the
Spider-Man
original
movies.
movie.
She was old as fuck.
she's
She's
1,000.
like 70.
Yeah, man, she's old as
she
shit.
looked like 70.
So yeah, I didn't really have a problem.
There's
with
no way that
So-
old lady survives that in that scene in the original Spider-Man when Green Goblin busts into her house. She dies.
Yeah.
Any old lady at that actual age dies.
of a heart attack,
Right,
at least.
minimum.
At least.
Heart attack, stroke, or just sheer
all right,
fear.
So, verdict on the movie.
Hang on, a little more, a little
Okay,
more.
sorry, you had something more?
Yeah, just when they brought back Pepper Potts,
That was cool.
that was cool.
Oh, yes.
Oh, the
I-
Iron
I-
Spider suit.
The Iron Spider suit looks freaking great.
but I don't think that was the Iron Spider.
No,
suit.
that's not. That is a
Iron
reference.
Spider suit
To me, it
is
looks like
red,
Iron Spider
is
suit 'cause
iron
It has a similar
color.
scheme.
Just
to it.
like with the detail of
they
it,
But it's
changed
supposed to
it.
be red and orange or whatever, and
it's red and
with-
gold.
and with the arms, and there was no.
Yeah, but the arms don't
Never
always
know if they'll-
show.
yeah.
The arms aren't always out.
Yeah.
to me, just when I
It
looked
looked
at it,
more like an Avengers suit.
to me, the detail of it looked like it had the plates.
I think-
so. It looked like
I want to say something
To me,
about
it
that
looked
because
like it was
I
an
think they have a
Spider-Man.
reference for the Iron Spider because it has the same colors.
I thought it had the
Pretty
same
much,
coloration
yes.
too.
No, this one was red and blue. It looked a lot more. It,
It
looked
might
like
have,
it fit.
it might have had
No, but it
blue
had
in it,
gold.
But it had the gold.
It had the gold
Oh,
lines.
yeah, it
on
had
the
some
side.
gold trim.
That's why I thought it was like, oh, I was like, that's got to be the Iron Spider suit.
Yes.
See, I saw it and I was like, damn, I wanted to see just the same way. Like, I want to see the Iron Spider.
Now, about the Iron Spider, why in the comics? Why does it only have 3 arms? Why doesn't it have 4?
Because he's got
No, oh, that's-
hand, 2 arms, and 2 legs.
Yeah, but it's
7.
a spider has 8 legs.
Right.
So he only has 3.
But spiders don't have arms. So they're limbs. It's got between his actual arms and his actual legs and the 3 arms,
That's
he's
only
got
7.
4 limbs per side.
That's only 7.
What?
4 plus 3 is 7.
It did not have 3. It had 3 arms per side.
No, man, it only has 3 arms total.
Yeah.
The Iron Spider suit has only 3 arms coming out of the back.
Go
of
check it out.
Unless you're thinking of the Spider-Man that grew out the 2 extra arms.
Come.
How awesome would that be if they threw that in there?
Man. Okay, so.
Oh, okay, yeah. I
It's only got 3 arms coming out of it.
Yeah, it
yeah,
only
that's
has
crazy.
3 arms.
I always
Now,
thought it
this
had
has 4
3
arms in it, but that's not what it looks like.
That one's got 3 there.
This one has only 3.
Oh, shit.
This
Most
one
of
has
them only have
three.
3.
Yeah, most of them. This one has only 3 there. This one only has 3 there. They're always only 3.
So
Why the fuck does he only have 3?
we're
arms?
looking in the
don't
internet
get
to
it.
look for to confirm they only
I
has
stand
3
corrected.
arms.
So in the comics, for some reason,
For
the
sit
Iron
corrected?
Spider only has 3 extra arms. Why? It's only 7 arms total. I don't get it. But
His penis.
Yeah, right. That's his other arm.
It's
So
the other
the-
explanation I could give you.
Let me see if there's any images of the Iron Spider suit in Homecoming. they don't really show it yet.
They don't show it.
No.
They don't.
But
really.
to me, at the very least, the color scheme.
Yeah, the color
even though
scheme
it had some darker
resemble-
areas here.
Yes.
I thought it looked like look, here it is. It's actually right there, dude. That's gotta be the Iron Spider suit. It's got some darker areas,
But it has
there's
the
a lot of
gold.
gold in it.
It has a lot of gold on it.
And
So
that's the other thing that I was saying is like it looks like it's plated, so it
Yeah,
looks like
to
an
me, it
actual
looks like
armor.
to me it looks like it's the Iron Spider suit. I think it's really cool, but anyway.
but we
So,
had
okay,
to see.
Right.
We had to see and wait.
So it's a possibility.
you think he's gonna bust it out in Infinity War?
I believe
He's
so.
gotta wear it.
He has to wear it.
What's your take on him not wanting to join the Avengers just yet? My take would be that
It's because
he just wants to do his thing, and then they want to tie in the whole thing with the.
No,
Sinister
I think
Six.
that's just a contractual issue. I think that's just because he's not fully
Maybe,
in the
maybe,
MCU.
but
So that's why they want to do the other two movies and then introduce all the other villains.
It was
maybe
just a
so, but
convenient
the-
way to keep him out of it.
that may be, but at the same time, he's never really been a full Avenger in the comics either.
That's true too.
He's always
He's
been
always
He's
stuck
been
by
part
himself.
of groups before. I mean, he was in.
He's
he
always
was
been
in
like
the
a
Fantastic
reservist.
Four once.
Yeah, but technically in the Avengers, he's always been like a reserve Avengers guy. He's never been like a full-fledged Avenger.
I read somewhere that the next Spider-Man is after the second Avengers, or I'm sorry, the fourth Avengers. Excuse me.
So after Infinity
yes.
War's gone down.
After the Infinity Gauntlet, which you're the one that mentioned to me
I
that
think it's going to be called Infinity
Infinity
Gauntlet. Yeah.
The next one.
No, the
And-
next one is Infinity War.
The
and
fourth-
then
Infinity
the
War,
fourth
then
one is
fourth one is
Infinity
Infinity
Gauntlet.
Gauntlet.
So
Yes.
what we were talking about, Jose and I, was that they're going. Was it?
Well, title-wise, they're
backwards.
going backward because
Right.
in the comics it was the Infinity
Infinity
Gauntlet
Gauntlet
first
and
and then
Infinity
Infinity War.
Right.
I mean, you know,
So
maybe it's
Infinity
just a
War-
matter of the build-up to
My
it.
take is okay. So Thor comes around next.
Can't wait.
Hulk in it. They'll
50,
introduce.
50.
I think Doctor Strange is going to be in that, in some capacity, maybe in the after credits, similar to how Thor was in Doctor Strange's after credits.
Right.
I think they're going to throw that in there. I would think there's going to be another Infinity Stone in this one because we've seen what is it, Black Panther, and then, or do you think the Infinity Stone is in Black Panther? No, I would think it's in Thor.
No, it's in Thor.
Thor Ragnarok.
It is Thor, right?
probably.
Is it- I think I believe it's in
'Cause
Thor.
That's the next one up.
The-
no?
And then Infinity War is going to bring everybody together to where they're trying to see who's going to control the stones.
Or where Thanos
and then
is
Thanos
collecting.
comes in.
Yeah, I think
It might be where Thanos
right,
is
so then
collecting.
Thanos comes in and he's like, fuck all you, I'm taking these motherfuckers.
I think you're gonna see. I mean, we're gonna get into predictions. I think you're gonna see Vision die in Infinity War,
He has
to die, yeah,
He
because
has
of,
to.
because of the stone.
and
Yeah, for sure.
then in
And-
Infinity Gauntlet,
And
you'll
Scarlet
have the
Witch bring
whole-
it back, probably.
wouldn't shock me. But they gotta kill off characters.
Yeah.
Yes, they had
But-
to
but
kill
anyway,
characters,
for
but they
sure-
had to
for
come
sure.
back because there's some characters that are gonna come back because of Doctor Strange is gonna use the time.
Oh, the time gem.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
gonna do the time gem, and that's how it's gonna
Be
bring.
awesome if
It's gonna
Quicksilver
bring
came
everybody back.
Yeah.
Well,
that was
either
a
way,
shame.
either
Pretty
way,
much
though,
everybody's probably gonna die, and
A lot
Did you guys
of
see?
us
Did you guys see
are
that
not.
Jeremy Renner got hurt filming a stunt for the movie?
Yeah, he broke both
I
arms.
heard.
He broke
Both arms.
Arms?
What the?
Yeah. He was fighting Thanos.
all right.
I
So
just read the headline.
Okay, so
I
wait.
didn't know that.
let's
wrap
wrap
the review up.
Spider-Man. Yes.
Yeah, let's wrap up Spider-Man, and then maybe
So
we can
get-
do maybe you can do your rapid fire.
So where do you put
But
it?
Hang on,
in
but there was still some other, I feel
What
like
else
there's
about
some little
Spider-Man?
things that are left there.
Okay,
Oh,
go.
oh wait, the last thing. The second after credit. You have to
Yeah.
have a little patience.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was a great plug.
That was
like
great.
it was because you know it's
They spooked
they're making
themselves.
exactly
They
they're
spooked
trolling
themselves.
themselves.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
trolling themselves.
They
That
trolled
was
themselves. They
so-
trolled the hell out of us because we all sat there and waited for nothing, and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of them, not a lot of them, some are really nothing. It's just you
Yes.
wait there, you sit around. Is like the
Howard
the,
the Duck.
the Howard the Duck one, right?
Yeah.
Or in was it Guardians where Stanley's sitting there, he's saying bye to the Watchers or whatever.
Right.
Or the shawarma scene where they're just sitting eating
Yeah, they're
shawarma.
eating shawarma.
Yeah,
There you go.
the
Okay,
Watchers
so-
were dope though.
Final
So
verdict.
let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up. So
On the final verdict.
What do you guys? What's your take on Spider-Man?
what's the rating?
So
Okay, so
1 through 5?
Okay, so
1 through 5, 1 through 10.
I would
1
say
to
from
1 to 10.
I like
I,
1 to
I,
10.
I
I
thought
like
we were
1 to
gonna do
10.
where you
Deadpool to
put it
Ghost
in
Rider.
between-
Well, we're gonna do both.
No,
we
no.
gotta give it its own rating,
Yes.
and then where you think it might rank in with
the
other
other
of
MCU
the
movies?
MCU movies.
Okay.
So on a 1 to 10, I'd probably give it a good 7.5, 8. I thought, I think we've covered it. I thought he did a good job. I thought that, maybe there would have been a little bit more advancement of the story because by the time it's over, you're kind of left in the same place.
maybe so, but But it was its own story though. So
Yeah.
All right.
I didn't have too much of a problem with that.
And then in ranking in the order of movies, I definitely put it. To me, Iron Man 1 is my favorite one. So I put
That's what started it off.
I put it somewhere around.
It's incredible how that's the first one and
It
it's
is the
still
best
like
one.
possibly
One of the
the
better
best
ones,
one.
I'd put it somewhere around
But-
6 or 7. Somewhere right around the first Guardians.
The first Guardians was great.
Yeah,
Dude,
my
so what do you think?
first Guardians for me is 5, so I have it right around there.
So what do you think?
I'm thinking somewhere around top 5 or 6 of all of them. I still think Civil War is the best one of all of them. Then I would say comes Iron Man. I love Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Guardians, the first one's great.
What's your rating?
I would give it after the second go round. I would give it an 8.5.
Wow.
Solid 8.
You?
All right. So for
I
me,
started with a 7.5.
Okay, I gotta say that for me, it was definitely one of the most fun movies I've watched recently.
It was funny. It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot more. I mean, I love Tobey Maguire at least for part 1 and 2. Part 3 obviously was crappy, but and I'm a big Spider-Man fan. He's probably one of my favorite characters. Again, it was a lot of fun. There was a lot of stuff that I liked about it. I laughed a lot throughout the movie, and I thought Michael Keaton was fucking awesome.
Terrific.
I thought he was phenomenal. I would probably put him in somewhere in the top 5 too. I would say Avengers, just for the sheer fact that it brought everybody together, would probably be my top 1. I liked Winter Soldier quite a bit too. Maybe more so than Civil War, only because Civil War I felt like it was a little bit overstuffed to some extent. I would say Avengers.
As overstuffed as it was.
I know, and it was great. It's still in my top 5.
Yeah, no, look, I got
But
Iron Man,
I would
Winter
say-
Soldier, Civil War.
I love the Iron Man and Captain America scene. Their fight at the
Yeah,
end.
But
was
for me, I would say
fucking
Avengers. I would say Avengers, Winter Soldier, probably Homecoming
Yeah.
in the MCU.
That's great. For me, I give it a solid 8.
Sorry, I didn't give it a score. I'd probably say 8.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I give it an 8 out of it. I
7.5, 8.
really like the movie. I enjoy the character that they bring. How good is him from the comics? Like, it resembles him a lot because he's a teenager.
Right.
Sure.
And we didn't have that in the previous Spider-Mans. We didn't have a
Yeah, we didn't get to see
teenager
that very much.
kid.
He wasn't. He,
And
he
he's-
was having a good time in this
Yes.
movie. He
Right.
was, like you said, the opening scene when he's filming himself.
Yes. And
was a
you
kid.
could see that he's a
was
kid
so
and
excited
he's
about it.
witty and,
He's-
and
you're
like
a
he's
15-year-old who
nerd
got
and he
superpowers.
has
Learn
nerds.
about it.
He's
Learning
waiting
about
for the
it.
next
Yes.
mission. He's excited
He's
about
excited about it. So I love that.
it. He only
I-
cried twice in this one, and it was because he failed the Stargazer ship,
Yes.
and because he was getting out of a freaking pile of rubble.
Yes.
I think I'd be crying in a
Let's,
pile of
let's,
rubble
let's
too.
just put this clear. He cried less times than Superman did in Man of Steel.
And in my movie choice, I think I put it in the top 5 out of in the Marvel universe. Yes, top 5 has to be there in the top
It's hard.
5.
It's hard because
Yes.
after, so like I said, I have Iron Man, then Winter Soldier, then Civil War, then Avengers, and then Guardians Part 1.
Right. Yeah, Guardians Pro.
I don't see this one knocking any of those out of the top 5, but it's definitely 6 for sure.
Gotcha. Yeah. Again, just for me, only because he's in the top 3.
So
only because he's one of my
if
favorites.
you
Oh, yeah,
guys
no, me
haven't
too.
watched it, go watch it.
Yeah,
and
for
I don't
sure
think
go
you
watch
guys
it. It was
have
awesome.
been hearing
Anybody
this
know what it
podcast
made
if
so
you-
far this weekend? Anybody?
55 million, I think they said.
55 million so
Something
far.
like that.
Yes.
It's a good
So-
opening.
Okay. So
Other things that I wanted to say before everything closed, I wanted to say ComicCon is coming.
Yes.
July 20, the next week is
Super-
coming. So there's a couple things that I want to say about it.
You sure it's not the week after? I saw it was 27 to 30.
Well,
I
let's
believe
see.
it's
What is
the-
it?
SuperCon.
Was it the Florida
The one
SuperCon?
down here is called SuperCon.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the San Diego Comic Con.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The San Diego
That's-
Comic Con
That's
It
next
is-
week or
yes.
What?
next week. Not this week, the next one
June.
following.
Okay, yeah. I've been telling him I've been wanting to go for years.
Yes.
man.
July
You know what?
27th
We
is
should
the
open
SuperCon.
up a fun
GoFundMe.
GoFundMe.
Yeah, right.
Comic Con.
Sure,
If you
send
guys
us.
want to see Nerdos over there in
You guys
the
can send us. I have a Magneto
Yes.
outfit, full out
Yes.
Magneto outfit. You guys have seen.
we're gonna have full custom if you guys send us. I'm gonna open up a link
yeah.
for the.
Ray over here makes a perfect Nick Fury. Yes, sir. Nick Fury's gonna be
Yes.
the next Captain Marvel, supposedly.
I rocked it.
All right.
By the way, it's made 257 million so far.
Yeah, it couldn't have been 50. I was like, that's
Yeah.
257.
So
I'm sorry. What was that?
257 million.
What movie?
Homecoming. It's already beat its budget.
Worldwide.
All right.
Yeah,
So,
worldwide.
Yeah, 50
Oh,
million.
okay.
guys, let me say something.
No, I thought you
Let me say something about the Comic Con.
Domestic.
Okay, the San Diego Comic Con, they finally confirmed that the sorter will be in Thor Ragnarok,
Searcher.
Searcher.
The demon.
the demon. So if you guys don't know him,
Firestorm.
No.
Searcher.
he's
Oh,
a
Searcher. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think I remember.
He's like a big fire.
so
don't
he's a big character. He's huge for in the comic books.
I never read any
Him,
Thor
I'm
comics.
Odin fight each other in the Odin sword, and that's how he gets his powers because he breaks it. So it's a big deal. So he's gonna appear on
Okay. So
Thor Ragnarok.
real quick, just to give you a quick reference on.
Yes,
He is a Norse mythology demon.
sorter.
Nice.
SURT.
You are.
Surtur.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a pretty big nasty dude. He's a fictional demon appearing in American comic books by Marvel Comics. He battles the Norse god Thor.
Yeah.
So yeah. he's
So
a fire giant.
another scene that we could see in the Comic Con that's coming up in 2 weeks is gonna be crazy. We're gonna do a podcast because of all the things that are gonna come up. So we could see a brand new footage from Infinity War. That's something really cool. And Marvel already confirmed that they're gonna take over Comic Con by storm because they're gonna do a 2-hour panel. So we're gonna see probably some actors and characters coming out of
This
there.
man's
They
doing
also-
his homework.
They also said that they're gonna do something at DisneyCon or whatever. That they're doing a big to do there.
Yeah,
also.
so we're gonna see Black Panther because that's the next movie coming up. They're gonna show
They're gonna
probably a
promote
new
that.
trailer.
Yeah.
They're gonna have Infinity War and maybe a teaser for the Wasp.
I read also
That's what I read.
the New Justice League and
hopefully.
Aquaman also.
Yeah.
Yes, and DC and the DC part too. In the DC part, they're gonna throw out the new Justice League trailer probably.
I think they'll be able to kind of pick their way back up after Wonder
Yeah,
Woman.
but
I've already lost faith. Like Wonder Woman was fantastic.
Yeah.
You're
To
not
me,
looking forward
it's
this
already
one?
lost all the momentum. Like,
I don't know. I mean, obviously,
Wonder Woman was great, and then Spider-Man comes.
still
and just
obviously have to
slaps
watch
you,
it.
and you're just like, so do you like Spider-Man or Wonder Woman better? Quickly.
they're totally
fire.
different movies.
Yeah, they were completely different. movies.
Which one did I still like better? I gotta lean toward Wonder Woman, man. I just felt like it had the better message overall.
Yeah.
Because of
But the tone was different.
The tone-
too, though. The tone was
I don't
different.
know.
Right, but just which
I
movie
like
did you enjoy
Homecoming.
more?
I like
I liked
Homecoming a
Wonder
lot.
Woman
I like
more.
Homecoming. So.
You like-
All right, so
well,
that's the
which one
things
did you
that
like?
I have.
I gotta say I liked Homecoming more because I like Spider-Man.
like
but
Spider-Man.
I loved Wonder Woman.
The reason I
was
like
great.
Wonder Woman more, honestly, is just because again we've seen all these different portrayals. Spider-Man's a more well-known character by popularity. I would think yes. So to me, just the way that Wonder Woman was done and the way she portrayed the character, and other than the way Ares sucked at the end, I just think overall had a better feel and better effect and better overall tone for the movie, even though it was a different type of movie.
Wonder Woman is what Man of Steel should have been.
Yeah,
That's
you
my
did
take.
say that,
That's
yeah.
my take on it. But anyway,
All right,
okay.
so,
your
that
thing.
was me closing up on whatever Comic Con.
I like the
throwing
Comic-Con
out,
info. We gotta
throwing
go.
out, and
Listen, if we're the real nerdos, we have to plan that.
yes,
We have to do that.
Yes.
San Diego.
We've been
I'm-
talking about this.
wanting to go for.
I don't know. I want to go to San Diego. Not
yes, I
fuck
want to
Florida
go.
SuperCon.
So it's
I'm down, but-
it's a year from now that me trying to make a promise to go. So I'm gonna open up a fun
GoFundMe and a Patreon.
GoFundMe on the
You should do a Patreon too, so we can love you.
I don't know about Patreon.
Patreon's the same. It's the
Yes,
same
I know.
thing, yeah.
It's the same.
why
thing.
not send us?
Yes.
Send us and we'll
If
give
you
Send
you.
the
like,
Nerdos
if
Comic
you
Con.
like to see us there,
Send a
we're
poor black
gonna
kid from the Bronx to Comic Con.
we're gonna go open a GoFundMe, and we're gonna try to document everything that we're having on social media. I'm gonna try to put you guys in the social media things in the bottom of our
Black kid from the Bronx.
so
3
people
Indians
will
from
follow
Peru,
us.
2 from El Salvador. Send us there, baby.
Yeah, send us there, please.
Tira flechas.
So that's me for
Navajo.
Comic Con news. What else do you have?
what else
we're
you
gonna do?
So
This is something new.
I want to kind of throw in a quick segment. Maybe
Yes.
we'll do it. I've got to have a bunch of them, so we'll see how far along we get. How much time do you think we have?
We're like at
We
the hour mark now.
should. We should do it fast.
So this is what I want to do. The rapid
Yeah.
fire that I want to introduce is kind of like I've looked up a bunch of upcoming movies.
Yeah.
Maybe some that you've seen a trailer to. Maybe just some that are just the name, and you kind of gotta give a okay. Do I want to see it? Yes or no. So
Okay.
it's just yes or no. We'll go around,
Go for it.
and then I don't know if anybody else has anything that they want to do, but I do have challenges that I want to issue to everybody.
All right.
Okay,
Alright.
well,
We
go.
we challenge each other to
Go.
Okay,
do
do your
certain
rapid
things.
fire first.
Yeah, Rupert.
So, the rapid fire is going to include movies that are upcoming. There's some that are unanimous, so I think I'm going to go with the unanimous ones.
Okay, go. Man.
Thor,
Yeah.
Yes.
Dark Tower,
Yes.
Yes.
It.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Which
You
one?
don't want to see it?
I never saw it. Clowns don't freak me out.
Yeah, no, I'm not too excited. No,
Okay,
no.
well,
So
I'm-
two
I
no's,
gotta
yes.
see that.
Okay, maybe not unanimous. Blade Runner.
Yes.
I have to watch the original.
I do have to watch the original one, but
I haven't watched the original. What I want to get back to
I
about
want to
Dark
say
Tower
something
and
about
It-
the Blade Runner. Blade Runner, they're gonna throw something in ComicCon for Blade
Nice.
Runner 2046.
Good shit.
Yes.
I'd be interested to see if anybody has either read the books or would be willing to read the books before the movies come out.
We should do like a live watch
You're
of
talking
Blade
about
Runner,
Dark
like the
Tower.
four
For
of
Dark
us
Tower
sit
or
down.
It.
Okay.
We should do like a
I'm
live watch
doing
of
that.
of the original Blade Runner. Like we just sit down and watch it in commentary while we.
Interesting.
The Dark Tower. I started.
We
reading.
could do it, but I
I'm
don't
working
think
on it.
it's gonna be good.
So that's something that you want to throw in there. Blade Runner, we just said. Justice League.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
You have to
It's
see
the
it.
job.
You have to see it.
Yes.
Exactly. It's part of the job. But yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. Baby Driver.
I want to see it.
Want to see that.
Yes.
Okay. So these are the ones that are kind of like up in the air. War of the Planet of the Apes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. You said
Eh.
Have you seen the second one?
I've seen the first one.
Saw the first one.
I like the first
second
one.
one's.
It was okay.
And
The first one
the
is-
third one, we've heard that it's supposed to be really good. So
Okay.
I definitely want to see
I want to
it.
see it.
I'm not super interested.
Dunkirk.
I want to see that. I
do-
like Chris Nolan.
I didn't want to see it,
Yes.
and then
I don't know what is
did
that.
a little bit of homework on the
It's a
battle
war
itself.
movie.
Frank schooled me on it, and
Okay.
now I really want to see it.
Okay.
Chris Nolan is the director.
I don't know any.
Valerian and the Thousand Planets or
My,
whatever.
No.
my kids want to see it.
Yeah, I'll take the kids.
I want to
guess.
see it.
Okay.
I've heard the book is good.
There's a second Annabelle movie coming out.
Who?
Annabelle, the doll.
The doll.
No.
Okay, so the only thing I like about those types of movies because it's with the what's
Is
it?
it
The
a Chucky
Conjuring.
type thing?
No, not even. It's because they're supposedly based on real events, and that shit freaks me the fuck out. When you tell me that a movie is based on true events, and you have all that poltergeist and fucking
Yeah,
exorcism,
like religious horror freaks
and
me out.
Yeah.
that shit is.
Religious horror freaks me
And
out.
Annabelle's supposed to be
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
spirit.
The
It's supposed to be
Exorcist
the-
and-
The
right.
exorcism of Emily Rose.
That
Fuck
that was-
my life up for like
yeah.
a week.
That scene
I
where
would
she
wake
gets
up
bent
and I would
backwards.
pray not to look at my clock and see fucking 3 a.m. Dude, I would.
That scene where she gets bent backwards.
That,
She's like,
that movie killed me too.
When she starts talking in tongues in the shed. Fuck that, dude.
All right.
Hitman's Bodyguard.
I haven't
Which
seen
one? Hitman's Bodyguard is a new one with Ryan Reynolds and Samuel L. Jackson. It's supposed to be like
Nope.
an action comedy.
No.
There's a new Starship Troopers coming out.
Nope.
Yeah.
Never saw
Nope.
the first one.
No.
I like the first one, but I'm not
Shit,
interested.
not-
in
not
stuff.
looking forward to the next
No,
one,
not
no.
looking forward.
Jumanji.
Nope.
It looks funny.
I'll probably have to
It
take the
looks
kids to
funny.
go
I
see
yeah,
it.
probably
take
see,
the
yeah, I probably
kids.
take the kids to see it.
Real quick side note: how do you feel about The Rock as far as just all his action movies, all the shit that he's
I
doing?
think-
He's doing Rampage also.
I think they're
He's
they're
supposed to be
pushing
Shazam.
him. They're
He's
pushing
just- he's
him
just
too
very
much.
But you know
marketable.
what? He's very marketable and
Yeah,
he's
he's
doing
very-
his thing.
Yeah.
The people's champ.
Did you smell what the Rock is cooking, bro?
Best looking man. What was it? The best looking.
Sexiest man alive.
Sexiest man alive.
That's right.
The
people's strudel.
new Ninjago Lego movie.
I gotta see it because
No.
I've loved both Lego movies so far.
Yeah.
I watched the Lego movie.
Batman was fucking
Yeah.
awesome.
No, but the Batman Lego is hilarious.
I have
But
to
the
see it.
Ninjago movie
It's
looks funny
so
as shit too.
funny.
I have homework to do. I have to see the Lego Batman movie. I watched the
Yes.
Lego movie because of you guys. I haven't watched the Lego.
The Lego
Batman
movie is great. The Lego Batman movie is.
But
even better.
Ninjago doesn't cut my. It
I don't know.
doesn't
I
cut
like
my
I like
attention.
that. I like the trailer.
There's a new Halloween coming out.
Nah.
Nah. Geostorm. Another
What
one.
was Geostorm?
Another like
What is
stupid weather disaster movie. I'm out.
No.
After what was the last one? 2012. I gave up.
No.
I had
I don't remember.
I
That.
had such hopes for that one.
I saw the one from
Or whatever it was, the
San
one with
Diego,
Joe
whatever.
No, I know what you're talking about.
Earthquake or
San
whatever.
Andreas.
San
San
Andreas.
Andreas
With
with
the
The
Rock.
The Rock.
was
That
terrible.
was horrible.
No, I think the last one I saw was the day after tomorrow with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
I like Jake Gyllenhaal.
I do like Jake Gyllenhaal, but
No.
no, movie's the shits.
I saw one called Jigsaw. which I think is
Yeah,
now
it's a sequel
another one
to
for
Saw.
Saw.
Saw?
Yeah, it's a sequel to Saw.
I like those movies.
I haven't seen.
They were
I
crappy and
think
campy, but I like them.
Yeah, like after a while, I was
The first
but,
one was-
But I liked
Not,
the idea.
I remember watching it at
nothing
your house.
beats the
was
first
fucking
one.
Yeah,
amazing.
the first one was
But I like the idea of what they did as far as how to build that entire horror franchise, like Friday 13th, like Nightmare on Elm Street. So I don't mind so much that there's so many of them because of the way they went with that direction.
It just got tiresome though.
A little bit, yeah. I haven't seen the last one. I didn't see the 3D one. I didn't
Yeah.
care for that one. There's a new Cloverfield that's set to come out.
No.
Did you guys watch
Nope.
Cloverfield Lane?
Yes,
No.
it was so good unto the end. Because
I did not see that coming. I was like, I thought he was gonna get into it. And then, no,
I thought it was.
yes,
I never
It
saw.
was-
have
I
you
never
seen
saw
Cloverfield Lane?
It was interesting.
You saw?
I've seen Cloverfield and Cloverfield.
I didn't see
I've
either
seen
one
both.
of them.
I've seen Cloverfield, not.
What is it?
The
What is it?
Cloverfield Lane.
Cloverfield Lane
You,
was up
Cloverfield
until
was
the
like
end.
you are like, wow, this
Like a
movie
Godzilla
gets
thing.
you
It gets
because
you
it
intense.
gets
Yeah.
intense. Like you
It
want to
really
see this, and
ties
once it
you
gets
in.
to the end, you're like, what the hell? And this is how it ends? What?
But-
Nothing else?
It's
It's
most of the time all
horrible.
in together.
It's horrible.
The Murder on the Orient Express.
I want
Yes.
to see that.
I want to see that.
That looks
No.
cool. Was it you that I was with where we were watching at first, and I hear people in the crowd like Clue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got that similar.
It's
That was
a
that
theme
moment
or
when we
whatever.
saw
Murder
Guardians
mystery.
2.
It's a murder mystery.
There's new Flatliners coming out.
I'm not sure how I feel about
I
that.
don't know what is it.
Well,
Flatliners?
the original Flatliners with Julia Roberts. Who else was in it? Was it Kiefer Sutherland?
Oh, no.
Where
Kevin
they
Bacon.
they're
Kevin Bacon
yeah,
was
Kevin
in it, right? I
Bacon.
was about to
They
say Kevin
experiment.
is in everything.
Yeah, they're experimenting on what happened. Like they're trying to find out on what happens when you die, and so they basically
When you die.
put themselves in
die.
comas. They put themselves in
If he
comas.
Oh,
and
okay,
then
okay.
They resurrect themselves. And they bring themselves back.
I saw the,
And so what ends up
the
happening
preview.
is that they go to the other dimension and they bring something back.
Yes.
So they're doing a remake of that. I'm just not sure how I feel about it.
Did you like the original Flatliners?
I did.
I thought it was
I
cool.
thought it was good.
The House. That's one of the new Will Ferrell comedies. I like Will Ferrell.
I like it,
I
but
think
I
this one
haven't
looks
seen anything
okay.
about it.
Stepdads too. Did you see
No,
the preview?
said that too. I didn't watch the first one.
I like the first
No,
one. The
Daddy's
first one.
Home, I think.
Oh,
Daddy's
Daddy's Home.
Home.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Daddy's
Although
Home.
I never
did
saw the
like-
first one.
I did. What's
I
the
like
other
the
one that he
first
did with
one.
Mark
First one,
Wahlberg? Where they're cops.
Yeah, I don't remember the name of it. I know
The other guys.
the other guys.
That one was funny though.
That
I
was
like
funny.
Didn't see it.
It was fun.
I know you guys are gonna watch My Little Pony. That's the unanimous one.
Fuck
at
you.
the end of the night. My Little
I'm
fucking
fine.
pony.
I'm
Right
Hey,
here.
did you guys watch the Power Rangers movie?
I did.
No.
It's horrible.
It was bad. I mean, I hated Power Rangers because I'm an '80s kid. Like Voltron, fuck Power Rangers, but
No, I watched it,
but I wanted to see it just because of
Don't
whatever.
even waste your
It
time.
was terrible. All right, so I figured
Just
because
out
the
of
girl,
curiosity.
because the girl from it, she is. What is she in? She's the girl in Death Note. One of the girls from Power Rangers
Oh,
is,
yeah?
is the girl is she's
For the
second- she's
Netflix
second
movie,
Kira in
for the
Death
Netflix
Note.
series. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh.
And finally,
The
the
Rock.
last Transformers.
Nope. Hell no.
No. So
Do we have confirmation if that's
I
Unicron?
wanna see it, but I know.
hold that thought.
I wanna see it, but I know it's gonna be horrible.
You didn't see it. John said he saw it. It was terrible.
Oh yeah.
John was
Yo,
here
one of our
last
friends.
episode. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like your last episode. If you guys remember that are listening. Eek.
Or millions and millions of followers.
But hey, I've seen about 50 or so views and some. It's not too bad.
Yeah, listen.
And
you guys-
it builds up.
It's
It
gotta
builds
build
up.
up.
It's
It's gotta
building
build
up. Yes, that's
Even
what
if it
it
gets
is.
to 100 episodes and we still only have 100 followers, that's fine.
Anyway, go.
We're here.
So what about?
Lance was telling me that he saw it, and apparently,
But he liked it.
no, he did not. He said it was the worst movie he ever saw.
I don't know because Age
The
of
whole
Extinction
thing
is
with-
pretty hard to beat.
The whole thing with the Excalibur sword is supposed to be like the kryptonite, basically.
Oh God.
And apparently, what's the planet? What's the Transformers planet? called?
Unicron.
Cybertron.
No,
Cybertron. Is the one that in the previews you see coming in, and Earth is Unicron.
What?
Yeah,
Okay, so basically what
They
you're saying
changed the whole.
is Michael Bay is
he's a piece of shit.
fucking idiot.
He's a fucking dumbass.
He's single-handedly ruined
all of
20% of our
Transformers.
childhood
With
because
the exception of the opening scene where
he shit on Ninja Turtles, he shit on
I
Transformers.
didn't even watch Ninja Turtles.
I watched both of them.
both
and
of
it
it.
was- It was painful.
It's not like it.
I couldn't do it.
Painful.
Yeah, that's exactly what this white boy told me.
Incidentally, the Ninja Turtles cartoon on Nickelodeon,
It's really
which
good.
my 2-year-old son loves. He calls them titis, and I have to
really
put that
good.
shit on all the time. Fantastic
It's
show.
really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen
Yeah,
the
the cartoon is
cartoons.
really
The
good.
cartoons are really good.
All right, and then the last thing I wanted to do,
Yeah.
challenges.
All right.
You gotta challenge each other to catch up on. I already know what you guys are gonna challenge me on, and I will.
Winter is
Game of
coming.
Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Winter is coming. And you got a week, nigga.
No, fuck you guys. I'm not gonna fucking catch up on however many seasons are in a
6
week.
seasons,
60
I'm out.
episodes. You better take
I'll catch
another
up
week vacation.
eventually.
All right, what's the challenge?
But yes,
What's the challenge?
And the only other reason, also, not only because of that challenge, I have to watch the Defiant ones. They don't know what the Defiant ones is. I've been.
Yeah, we've been
All right, so what's the challenge?
Hang on, man. Let me talk about the Defiant ones, man. So the Defiant ones is supposed to be a documentary, a series of documentaries on different artists like Eminem, Dre,
NWA.
U2, NWA,
Nobody that I listen to.
some rock artists. I can't remember. off the top of my
Sorry,
head.
Simon and Garfunkel don't qualify as a defiant one.
So that's one reason why we're going to HBO. But obviously now because of this challenge. So the challenge again is
Catch up on something.
or something that I want you guys to watch
To be able to talk about with you.
So
Okay.
House of Cards. So challenge yourselves to watch House of Cards because I'm 2 episodes away from finishing the fifth
I already
season.
watched the whole season.
Okay, so I'm 2 episodes away from watching the 5th season, finishing the 5th season, and that's a great show in my opinion.
It's a great show.
It's a great.
I've heard it's a very good show. I just
It's a little.
I think
slow to
the
work
season,
up to,
the
you gotta
season
build
before
to it.
this one, this is the 5th season, no?
Yeah.
The last one that I came out.
Can
Season
I,
4 is a little
would rather have to
slow.
listen to a couple of Taylor Swift albums.
I didn't like that much season 4. It's a
I'm a
little
closet Taylor Swift fan.
like it
Are you really?
dosed me up a little bit. But
mean,
season 5,
I'd have to kind
is
of
a little-
recap some things to be able to talk about all of it, but we can talk more about it as far as like the characters and
Yeah.
what you think of the actors and how they portray each of their positions.
All
and
right,
things like
so
Can I take
what's the
door number
challenge?
that. Again, the challenge is me, all right, saying you guys House of Cards. Now, what are you challenging us to watch? I already know again in Game of Thrones. What are you challenging? What are you,
I already
to-
told you Game of Thrones.
Okay, you. What's
I don't
your
know.
challenge?
I don't know. go around. I don't know what else.
Vikings.
Could be.
Oh, I'm down.
Vikings.
I'm down.
Vikings is good.
Vikings.
I'm a season and a half or 2 seasons.
Okay,
into
I
it.
could watch Vikings
I call-
because
I'm all
I
caught up
haven't
on
watched.
Vikings.
Since you guys are anime fans, I would say Hunter x Hunter. That would
Is
be
that on
mine.
Netflix?
Yeah, the first like 4 seasons are on Netflix, and then season 5 is
I
elsewhere.
gotta catch up on Death
So
Note.
again-
I gotta watch Death Note.
Oh yeah,
Challenge.
Oh, we
So-
can do that.
Go
Let's do
next.
that. Let's
And
put
then
Death
we
Note
do-
for everybody, so we can talk about Death Note when the movie comes.
Yes.
Death
Yeah,
Note.
Death Note.
Death
Yeah,
Note.
It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix.
it's so good.
When is that? Is that a series or movie?
It's an
It's
anime,
an
but
anime
now they're
series,
gonna
but
do
it's
a
coming out as a
movie
movie.
on Netflix,
Oh, okay,
a live
okay.
action on Netflix.
Okay, I gotta put it on my list. So yeah,
All right.
like challenge each other to watch other things that maybe is out of what the other hasn't seen or out of the norm, just to build up some other content, and then just obviously over a little bit of time, and then we do it again. You know, maybe 2 or 3 episodes later. Okay,
That's
what's the
awesome.
new thing that either that's been out for a while that
One
hey,
Punch
why don't we
Man.
watch it? I haven't watched the Voltron fucking episodes.
That's
No?
a shame.
I haven't watched the Voltron.
I have.
It's good.
I have the
haven't
third
finished
season
watching-
only.
It's
So
good. The second season's better.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
good.
I had to see it.
Looking at my
All right, real quick, if you guys don't mind, I want
Do.
to
Yes,
shameful plug.
go.
If you guys want to check out, me and my other buddy have a podcast that we're doing. We don't have video, but you can check it out on SoundCloud. It's Back of the Bus. And if you want to check out the Instagram page, it's Back of the Bus Podcast. The link is right there on the Instagram page.
Yes, I'm gonna put the description of his stuff on our video. So if you guys would like to follow him, anything else that you guys want to say before we close?
No, just
Guillermo?
hit like on the page or
Yes.
hit like on our YouTube.
don't hit
page.
like, hit love.
Yeah, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the
subscribe.
channel. We're trying to do this as often as we can. Thank you for keep following
Make
us.
suggestions.
Yes, thank you for the comments and the
comments,
pieces and the
concerns.
loves.
Yeah, dude, comments is awesome. Kind of lets us know how we're doing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely take that.
We see you next time. Peace out.
Valor
Be
Morgulis.
easy.